Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Sarper has been exhibiting some troubling behavior on 90 Day Fiancé, which may prompt Shekinah Garner to reassess their relationship. The couple first connected through a dating app in Turkey, and what began as a casual fling quickly evolved into a serious commitment. Sarper and Shekinah made their debut on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 5, where they opened up about ongoing challenges in their relationship. Some of the concerns included Sarper's preference for Shekinah to maintain a specific weight and dress in a style that suited his tastes. In return, Shekinah asked Sarper, who works as a fitness trainer, to avoid training female clients. One of their most intense arguments occurred when Sarper unintentionally pulled out Shekinah's hair extensions during a heated exchange. While that incident seemed like it could mark the end of their romance, the couple eventually reconciled. They became engaged in Season 6 of The Other Way, hoping for a fresh start. Shekinah proceeded to file for Sarper's K-1 visa, allowing him to move from Turkey to the United States with plans to marry her. Though initially reluctant to leave his life in Turkey behind, Sarper ultimately chose to relocate in the name of love. Sarper, who brands himself as a bad boy, first met Shekinah for what was intended to be a casual encounter. However, their bond deepened, leading to a committed relationship. Despite this evolution, Sarper frequently references his past and claims to have had intimate experiences with 2,500 women. Viewers of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 have heard him mention this more than once, which some perceive as distasteful or lacking sensitivity. Even Shekinah has expressed that Sarper shouldn't take pride in such claims, as it might reflect a pattern of emotional unavailability or immaturity. After arriving at Shekinah's Los Angeles home, Sarper began voicing his concerns about adapting to life in the U.S. Shekinah, who runs her own aesthetics business from home, had firm rules in place that Sarper was expected to respect. Though he lightheartedly described himself as part-time homeless, their latest argument shed light on a more troubling dynamic. At one point, Sarper remarked, "If we break up, you'll cry for years for me," a comment that came off as both arrogant and dismissive. While it's clear that Sarper has been dealing with emotional challenges, his behavior raises valid concerns for Shekinah. Shekinah and her sisters have noticed several warning signs in Sarper's actions. Although her family welcomed him with cautious optimism, her sister Sharia remains skeptical of whether Sarper has genuinely changed. In a recent episode of Season 11, Sarper attempted to reconnect with Shekinah's family, though his approach felt somewhat superficial. Her sisters were alarmed by his temper and hoped he would address it constructively. Unfortunately, Sarper responded by generalizing that all men struggle with anger, rather than acknowledging their concerns or working to reassure them. Shekinah is no longer willing to put up with Sarper's aggressive, dismissive, or disrespectful behavior. She recognizes that adjusting to life in a new country can be stressful, but she refuses to be the target of Sarper's frustrations. If his behavior doesn't change, Shekinah may reconsider going through with the wedding. She knows her worth and is willing to walk away from the relationship if it means protecting her emotional well-being. While the couple appears to be at a crossroads, their shared social media account implies they're still together. From a psychological perspective, this kind of behavior can signal deeper issues. Men who feel the need to constantly remind others of their past exploits often struggle with self-esteem, using their conquests as a way to validate their worth. It's a pattern that rarely leads to healthy, lasting relationships, and it's one that should raise serious concerns for Shekinah if she's hoping for something more meaningful. Fans of the show have been quick to react, with many taking to social media to voice their concerns. Comments range from blunt assessments like "Shekinah, run, don't walk," to more thoughtful analyses of how this could indicate a problematic power dynamic in their relationship. The fact that Sarper seems comfortable discussing his past in such a public way, without regard for how it might make his partner feel, is a red flag that many think Shekinah should not overlook. Relationships are complex, and every couple sets their own boundaries. However, when one half of the equation seems more focused on their past than the future, it's a potential recipe for heartbreak. Shekinah, who comes across as a woman who knows her worth, deserves a partner who respects her enough not to treat their relationship like another notch on his belt. Moreover, it's not just the numbers that are concerning. It's the attitude behind them. Sarper's approach to relationships appears to be transactional, more about conquest and less about connection. This raises serious questions about how deeply he values emotional intimacy and whether he's capable of the kind of commitment Shekinah might ultimately be looking for. Recent updates from Sarper's social platforms show that he remains in Los Angeles. It's possible he's made meaningful efforts to improve his relationship with Shekinah, and that the couple is working through their issues. However, if Sarper doesn't begin to take responsibility for his actions, particularly his anger, he may jeopardize their future. For their relationship to succeed, Sarper will need to embrace emotional growth, communicate more effectively, and leave his past behind. Hopefully, viewers will witness a more thoughtful and evolved Sarper as 90 Day Fiancé continues. As the season unfolds, viewers will no doubt be watching closely to see if Shekinah starts to pick up on these warning signs. For now, though, it seems clear that Sarper's bragging isn't just an awkward overshare, but a potential sign of deeper compatibility issues. If Shekinah is serious about finding lasting love, she might need to reconsider whether a man with such a cavalier attitude toward relationships is really the right choice for her. In the end, relationships thrive on mutual respect, honesty, and emotional connection. If Sarper can't recognize that, Shekinah might find herself better off walking away before things get even more complicated. Because while a colorful past can be part of someone's story, it shouldn't define their present or dictate their future. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.